Stipe, congratulations. Obviously, an incredible fight this evening. Talk about the way you felt after that. It had to be a lot of emotion just with the atmosphere and then being such a back and forth fight. What was the emotion after the fight?
Thank God it's over. uh, yeah, he hit a lot harder than I thought. He put me on my ass. But I thought I was okay. He put me down. For a split second, I was like, whoa. But then got me that front leg. I got out of it. I felt fine, and then took over. Yeah. I needed it, actually.
I was going to say, it was such a unique experience. It didn't work out for Fabricio in Brazil earlier this year. It worked out great for you tonight. What was the experience? Was there added pressure? Was there anything different fighting in front of that crowd?
Yeah, I would totally rather fight Brazil. It's a lot easier for me, honestly. Literally, just the last, oh my God, 4 months has been crazy in my life, And he thought I was partying and all that, but fortunately, I was training really, really hard for this fight because I didn't have a moment to stop. I got married and all that, but yeah, man, I'm gonna take some time to myself now and go on a honeymoon with my wife and treat her.
And I know you want to enjoy this moment. You deserve to, but of course, with champs, we always look to what's next. Fabricio thought with a win he deserved to fight you again. You've got Cain Velasquez who said, he looked great at 200. He'd like to fight you. What do you think should come next? And knowing that you want to take some time off, do you at least have a time frame when you'd like to come back?
No, listen, whether you want me to fight, I'm going to fight, but I need to take some time to myself. Everyone else gets all these year and a half. I just want a few months. I didn't take any time off, which is fine, but right now, I don't care what they put in front of me. I'm going to stay champ for a long time. Like I said, I'm going to be still for a long time.
Stipe, over to your left. Congrats on the win, of course.
Thanks, brother.
Obviously, the crowd was crazy tonight. How much of that did you hear on the way out? And did you have to block it out? Did you soak it in? Because, they were like, this felt like, a really crazy crowd tonight.
Because the people are crazy. That's why I live here. That's how we do it. We don't mess around. We wait till next week and then I go tailgate at the Browns game. You're going to see a lot more fights. I'm not going to be in one of them, but, we watch them. That's how we do it, man. Like I said, I'd rather fight Brazil, man, because I was just, I got a little emotional in my head for a split second. This is badass, and then people were, just trying to mentally keep them out. But it was, I'm gonna remember this for the rest of my life.
Stipe, so you get knocked down and he's got you in a headlock. What were you thinking at that moment? And he had claimed that you had possibly tapped out, and can you just comment on that? And
I don't know. I tapped out. I have two hands on his hands.
That's what he said.
Yeah, but yeah. He's also not feeling too good right now. So,
Were you worried at that moment?
No, honestly, it sucked. No, listen, that's terrible. He could have. He could really hurt me. He threw out harder than I thought. He kicked a lot harder than I thought. That was my own fault. But I knew everything was coming. Listen, I trained for these situations. He put me on my ass. I felt fine. He got me in that front headlock, and I just kept screwing to my right, and he popped out. He didn't like it, and then. He gave me the opportunity to grab his leg. He fell to the ground, and when I got on top of him, yeah, game over.
Stipe, you were kind of chasing him a little bit there. He was kind of resetting, moving away. Was there any frustration at all? Because you did have to kind of go after him a few times. You literally kind of ran after him. Was there any frustration in that moment of that particular game plan, or in his style of how he approached this fight?
No, I knew exactly what he was doing. But he was slowing down. I was starting catching him, and I knew eventually I was going to get him. And fortunately got too close. I got that takedown, and that's all she wrote.
It's probably impossible to kind of quantize this, but I'm going to ask you anyways. What was the better feeling, winning the title in Brazil or feeling what you felt tonight in front of your hometown crowd?
OHIO, baby. That's all I'm going to say.
Stipe, you had talked leading up to this fight continuously that, you didn't, fighting in Cleveland, you were not going to let that affect you. But now after the fact, how did you handle the emotions? Was it difficult going through all that?
Right when it started, yeah, because I knew I was going to be Ticketmaster for about 2 months, and everyone tried to get tickets. So my wife took care of that, and she pretty much shut down everyone that came in, so thank God, that's why I love her. But yeah, it was tough, just people just trying to figure out where I'm staying, this and that, wanting, appearances and stuff, and, it is what it is, man. But I'd love to hear. I would love to fight here again, now it won't be as bad. I'll be more, I was definitely nervous, like every fight, you should be nervous for a fight, but I was just living life, man, loving it, man. Listen, like I said, I'm keeping this belt for a long time. The guy right there, the good-looking man with the crazy shoes, probably. You got that? Thank you.
Good one.
All right.
I'm just wondering if you heard what he said in the cage about the tap, and do you feel like that was, I don't know, for lack of a better word, unsportsmanlike to try to make an excuse, try to take your moment right after you won. And clearly, it seems like you did not tap.
Oh yeah, I didn't. Thank you. Thank you for having my back for a change. It's nice. I'm just joking. I'm giving you a hard time. Come on. No, yeah. Listen, man. I remember I was in the back getting my, getting signed my check and all that good stuff, and I heard boos, and I asked him what were they booing about, because I knew he was talking, and they told me that he said I tapped out, and I don't remember tapping out. I just remember punching him in the face repeatedly until he was unconscious.
And just to be clear, if they do come to you and say, because I don't know if you heard, $2.6 million gate, sellout. I mean, this was a huge night.
That's how we do in Cleveland.
So if they come to you and say, look, we want to do Kane versus you here in Cleveland, would you really say no to that?
No, I want to say no. I mean,
Well, you said you'd rather...
I'd rather fight, of course, but I mean, listen, man, I'm not going to pick and choose who I fight and where I'm going to fight. If they tell me I'm going to fight in Saturn, I'll fight in Saturn. I don't care. I mean, whatever you want me to fight, I'm going to fight. I mean, I'm the heavyweight champ of the world.
Right.
That's the reason. I'll fight anyone, anywhere. I fought in front of 45,000 Brazilian people. And I fought in front of how many people here tonight? 18,000 people, almost 19,000 people, all for me. I'll do whatever they want me to do it.
And just curious, given how proud you are of being from here and being humble, working class, when he was saying things like you've changed and you're partying and your clothes have changed, did that dig a little? Was that?
Didn't he come off the plane in like a fur coat or something? I don't know. Didn't he? I don't know. I mean, listen. I'm wearing a black T-shirt. I don't know how I've changed.
Did that bother you a little more? Like
no. I mean, whatever he wants to think, man. Listen, you don't know how hard I'm training. Like this summer was probably the hottest summer I've ever been in Cleveland. The humidity and the heat was probably 90 degrees every day for probably a month and a half straight, and I trained, did six rounds in a row, 5-minute rounds, nonstop, because I knew what the end result was going to be. So he could sit there and say I was partying, but yeah, when I was partying, guess what? I was also training. I could have a few cocktails. I'm a big boy.
And one last quick one. I know you were preparing, but did you happen to catch a glimpse of the madness in the co-main event? And I believe Verdum was saying something to you after when John was interviewing you. What's your take on everything that's happened afterwards with Verdum?
No, I mean, Verdum said, hey, you should fight me next. I said, okay, whatever they want me to do. He's a nice guy. But I just heard a little bit about it. I heard the one coach said something, he push kicked him. So I mean, it's not good. It's a good push kick. I felt it before, so I felt bad for that coach. But I mean, he probably said something he should have said. I mean, I'd be classy about it. But
Stipe, when you jumped out of the ring in Brazil, and then you jump on top of the ring and you start doing your OH, is that something you think about? Did you think about
that one? I did think about. I did think about that one.
The OH.
IO. Yep. That's all I think about.
What did you think about that today? Leading up to
the minute they announced the fight, I was like, what's something cool after I knock this dude out? It would be fun to do. And that was it. I was like, that'd be fun. And look at that. They had 19,000 people going IO. They didn't do it at the end because they were screaming, but it was fun.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jan. It was very nice, guys. Good job.